Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ogbanje Joseph. Please subscribe to this channel, share, like, as well as drop a comment on the comment section. So today we are looking at the Marxist political economy. Marxist political economy. Okay, so the Marxist school is basically hinged on, is basically hinged on the interpretation of history, which places emphasis on social classes, that is, productive forces, and social relationship of production. According to Karl Marx, or according to the Marxists, the economy is a substructure upon which the superstructural edifice of the society revolves. Now, using the logic of historical and dialectical materialism, while dialectical materialism talks about the science of motion, and it is about the primacy of matter over ideas, historical materialism, on the other hand, actually talks about the evidence of antagonistic contradiction in every economic epoch, from slavery to capitalism, and as such, the existence of class struggle in each epoch. Marxian political economy is consistent with the socialist worldview, which accommodates extensive state intervention and control of the economy of the nation. Okay, so it is the expectation of the scholars of Marxian orientation that state monopoly of the productive forces will make for a better redistribution of income in the society. So the Marxian political economy is actually, of the view. Okay, the Marxian political economy is actually, became predominant as capitalism flourished in in the industrial countries in Europe, and then problem began to emerge from the economic system. As a result, political economists such as Hegel and Marx critiqued capitalism in their works as they presented alternatives to liberalism. In fact, Karl Marx actually, was of the view that, that history has few important eras, highlighting the different relationship between different sets of people. According to him, inequality has been common to all, to all of these relationships. In ancient times, there were slaves and masters, where masters directly had control over slaves. This progressed to the feudal ages, which supported the peasants and the aristocrats. Eventually, this changed as well, with people from the peasant class and the aristocracy forming town dwellers who eventually became factory owners in the modern capitalist era. These factory owners employed factory workers who labored for the owner's profit. He called, Marx, actually called these modern factory owners capitalists, and the class of capitalists the bourgeoisie. Okay, now he called the workers proletariat and referred to these class as the proletariat. Now, in short, Marx believes, that the world needed to complete a particular stage of history before moving on to the next stage. Therefore, feudalism was necessary for capitalism, and capitalism is necessary for the proposed next stage. Okay, so Marx believes that inequality will become so widespread due to capitalism that the world would have to undergo a chaotic revolution due to his beliefs that the capitalist system could not support itself. He believed that there was a fixed amount of wealth in the world and that the capitalist system made capitalists accumulate private property to no end. He argued that the division of labor, which is an important component of capitalism, divides people into workers of different jobs, and this categorization naturally led to inequality. After capitalism set up the necessary infrastructure, the world would move to socialism, where the state would control individuals, destroying the division of labor to end inequality. Okay, after the world had stabilized, it would move to communism, where people no longer had the need to accumulate private property, since everyone would, in a sense, become Renaissance men and women who would be bound by no one occupation. Anyone could work as they saw fit and provide for the rest of the society. This is Marx's idea of the communist utopia. Okay, so what are we talking about? What we are talking about is that Marx's view is that the social world should be analyzed as a totality, rather than the academic division into history, philosophy, economics, political science, sociology, and international relations. He describes it as it describes all of those fields of study as arbitrary and unhelpful. None of these separate disciplines can be understood without knowledge of the others. In his work, Marx's methodological solution was to start with the simplest of social relations and then proceed to more complex picture. By so doing, we grasp a better meaning of dynamics of world politics. Okay? Now, what is important, under Marxism is for us to know that Marxism actually has 5 fundamental principles, 5 elements of Marxism. What are the 5 elements of Marxism? Number 1 is dialectical and historical materialism. Number 2 is the theory of class struggle. Number 3 is the theory of surplus value. Number 4 is the theory of social revolution. Number 5 is the withering away of the state and the dictatorship of the proletariat. Now, let us look at the features. We are going to come back, to take these theories one after the other. We'll look at dialectical materialism and historical materialism. We'll look at the theory of class struggle, theory of surplus value, theory of social revolution, withering away, and dictatorship of the proletariat. But what are the major characteristics of Marxism? Number 1, the Marxists advocate for centralized control of economic activities. That is number 1. Number 2, the Marxists advocates for collectivism. Okay. Number 3, the Marxist approach, is posteriori. You understand? What is posteriori? It means observation. It is based on empiricism. Okay. Number 5, while the classicalists actually advocated for dictatorship of the bourgeoisie, the Marxists advocated for the dictatorship of the proletariat. Okay. Then number 6, the Marxists actually strive for the overthrow of the status quo. Of course, the status quo here is actually the capitalist status quo. The Marxists also advocates for the state to take over the commanding heights of the economy. These are the major features and characteristics of the Marxist political economy. Thank you very much.